My fucking bad. I thought you heard me. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. We are back. Welcome to another episode of the Geeks5EPodcast. We are here on a Tuesday, not on a Monday, which is fucking weird for both me and Sonic. And this is after a very long needed recovery from COLOSSAL Texas. And I don't know if you guys have noticed, but we have if you're watching the show, uh, after it's already no longer live, it's the it's the replay. I'm sorry, I can't think
The video on demand.
right now. You'll see the comment section here, and we'll do our best to monitor it. If it gets too out of hand, we will take it down. But yeah,
Be on your
welcome
best
back.
behavior.
Yeah, be on your best behavior. I'm your host, the one, the only, the notorious, the infamous, the most chaotic panels and podcast host in all of Texas, the one, the only King Mexico, Captain Mexico, also known as Mr. Uppies. And joining me always is the man with the plan, the Ayatollah of rock and roller, Mr. Monday Night. That's Mr. Co-host to you. He is the Texas gaming hedgehog himself, Keyblade Sonic.
Ayo.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back. I'm gonna go ahead and start posting the link for the show so we can get up to speed. But Sonic,
What's up?
it's been a couple weeks. Any exciting news happened while we were gone?
Well, we just can't. We're going to be talking about it. The Colossal Con just happened this past weekend. Oh boy, we got a lot to talk about that convention. Not in a bad way, depending on who you talk to.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what else happened the last few weeks. Man, just Colossal just came by and just kind of. Yeah, no, that's pretty much the main topic. We just want to get to it. We would have done a show yesterday, but we're still recovering from this past weekend. And yeah, we're gonna be really busy this coming next few weeks because San Japan's next weekend, and I'm gonna be on a boat for the next few days.
You're going on a cruise, and I'm going to San
Yeah.
Japan.
Yeah, we're busy, man.
And it seems like con season is about to end for me in the next with San Japan.
Yeah.
What about you, Suffering? You're welcome back.
Or at least winding down, right?
Yeah, because Sonic's got Sonic Expo in November.
Yeah, and then I know everyone's talking about Tokyo X. I mean, I probably would go probably for like one day. Yeah, that's pretty much con wise. That's pretty much it. And then I know the Arcade Expo's happening, but honestly, I'm only gonna go for the swap meet.
Yeah, I'm only gonna go for the swap meet. I don't really give a shit. I know Geek Cred likes to go and like get drunk and be kind of stupid and play arcade games, but I'm not. I'm not. I'm going for the fucking trade show, and I'm going for the swap meet, and then I'm heading over to Ren Fair. Maybe we'll see. We haven't decided. I know for sure. I think we will do. I know for sure we're doing final weekend, but I think Barbarian or Pirate Weekend is the second weekend we want to do. Also, just so everybody knows, our thoughts and prayers go out to the to Dolly Parton's family. If you guys aren't aware, she has passed today, or at least it was announced today.
Yeah, that she passed at the age of 80. It's pretty surreal, man. She's been done a lot, and our heart breaks for her family, at this grieving loss. And again, this is still a few hours. This is today. Now it's passed away. It's kind of eerie because a few days ago I was hearing like, oh, she's going through hard times, and I'm like, what is? Hopefully everything's okay. And then for this to drop, I was like, man. But yeah,
losing Dolly Parton and Hayden Panettiere in the same week is kind of rough.
Yeah, it's rough the last few weeks, and again, yeah, the Hayden Panettiere thing too, because like that happened the weekend D23 was happening, and like all the Kingdom Hearts news was coming out, and I was like, oh my god, this is a big deal. Then just to end on a sour note of Hayden's unfortunate passing, and I was like, man.
It was very out of the blue, out of nowhere. It was
Yeah.
very sad.
Yeah, just tragic, And but yeah, let's see in the comments section. Yeah, Fan Expo Dallas is happening the weekend after San Japan. It's I kind of forgot about that because I knew it was going to be in September. But I was like, specifically what week in September? And well, now we know.
Well, I mean, I'm not. That's the weekend. Isn't it the week after
Yeah,
San
that's the thing.
Japan?
Yeah, it's after San Japan. So what? Yeah,
No, fuck that.
and then Tokyo X in the end of September, and then I kind of just forgot. It just hit me just now. NostalgiaCon that's happening in Houston the first weekend of October. That's happening too.
I think we're after Ren Fair. We're holding out until we're gonna aim for IkiCon. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna do that tonight. I'm not on camera because my room is a mess. Because the laptop is officially like I've put a lot of money into getting it fixed and to trying to keep it alive, and I thought I was good for a while, and it decided that I try to factory reset it, and it doesn't want to factory reset. I think the cooling fan stopped working, or it needs thermal paste or something. And I just don't want to fuck with it anymore because I've already invested a lot, and I'm just done with it. So right now, I'm actually streaming on the Steam Deck. Yeah, I'm using it as a computer, and it's running pretty
Yeah.
well.
As you can see behind
I'm
me
just
with the
gonna have
new
to buy an
background,
adapter
I
for
am
the
building a new
landline.
streaming room as well. So we're both in transition.
I was kind of like gonna ask you about that at some point during the show. Like, where the fuck's the fridge, man?
Yeah,
And it's
yeah,
very
yeah. So
echoey too.
this is
And it's
actually
very
where my
echoey.
office is
Like,
supposed
I
to
noticed
be,
the
and I found
echo.
building furniture. So
I want to give a shout out to Mama Donovan who's here. Shout out to Jace who goes to Dallas Cons. Gross. Uh, Fart Knocker, and I'm just gonna call you 312. 312. I know who you are. We are all. I don't know. So suffering. We tech suffering yesterday. Colossal Con just happened. We were supposed to do the review yesterday, and to be honest, I'm kind of glad we didn't. Uh, we were all dead ass tired. It was scheduled at the same time as checkout. No, you're fine. It's funny you mentioned that, and we'll get into that in a minute. Because there was a lot that happened on Sunday at the same time, and it was just a pain in the ass. But for those of you that aren't aware, that there was another convention in the Austin area that
In
happened
Travis County.
this pack. Yeah, in the it was actually, I think, what was it, like 10 miles, 30 minutes, something. I know it's somewhere between the 10 and 20, 10 and 30
Yeah.
number. I don't know if it was miles or minutes.
Not only
I
that,
know.
but also 2 hours away in San Antonio was Kamehacon was happening the same
Yeah.
weekend as well. So a lot of conventions overtaking each other.
Actually, the other one is kind of is a headliner because a lot of controversy came out of it. There are whole Reddit fucking threads, and I've been reading them. The vendors are pissed.
Okay. Yeah. So the one we're about to talk
The
what
one
do you
that
call
we are going to briefly mention, but not
Mar-
talk about as much.
Okay, because we weren't there, so we really couldn't say much. But we
Well,
did.
we
are aware of the
I was
stuff.
kind of hoping to save it for tomorrow's episode. But I can tell you this. That one, they were charging $300 for a vendor's booth for a convention that looked like it was hosted in a barn. I saw pictures and it looks like it's in a fucking someone's tool shed. And $300 is what, like Delta HCon number prices? Not even Ushicon charges that much. Deacon has a video on it. I don't want to see his junk. Is he in a Power Ranger cosplay? But yeah, Deacon was there, and apparently he was pissed too. He was not happy.
I mean, honestly, based on that first year turnout, I would be pissed too if I decided that. The biggest reason why I didn't apply for it is because for some reason they needed reference checks on their panelist application, which I've never heard of before.
That's something not a lot. Some conventions are doing now, and it's kind of like it's not a requirement. I don't want to throw his name out there because I want him to come out and talk about it whenever he watches the show. I have talked to one of our friends in the Discord who works with conventions, and some cons have adopted that. It's not a requirement, but it's to kind of weed out the people that are ghosting their panels. They'll sign up, get a free badge, and then not show up for the panel.
Yeah. So, Mama Donovan. So, KamehaCon took place at the Freeman Expo Hall. That's KamehaCon. We're talking about the Triple M. There you go.
Yeah.
That's
Triple
Yeah,
M,
Marvel's Morsel. It was called Manga, Marvel, and Morsels.
Yeah.
Convention.
Also, Jace, it's not a police holding cell; it's just an empty room. All right, like
I don't know, man. We could see the void of happiness. I see a bucket in the corner for you to shit in. I mean, it sounds like jail to me.
There'll be a lot more decoration next time I'm on the podcast for San Japan. Trust.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was going to mention that so the convention was called Manga, Marvels, and Morsels. There you go. Mm-hmm. Triple M. Let's just call it Triple M.
There is some controversy coming from the convention itself. I did get a chance to read the Reddits yesterday, and then I took a nap and I didn't want to get up. But there is a controversy. It's like a big story involving a child who went in cosplay to meet one of the guests there, and only to be let down by the entire convention experience because the guests canceled because they were not paid prior to the convention to show up. And I don't think none of the guests, supposedly the rumor was none of the guests were going to be paid until after the convention was all said and done. They were expected to all pay for their own stuff, pay for their gas, hotel, everything. That's the word on the street as far as that convention goes.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of I'm seeing some of the comments about it. Some of them as recently as like earlier this morning. Pretty surreal stuff regarding this convention.
I mean,
what the fuck? I just read Mama Donovan's fucking comments. Oh, she's talking about that scene with Mark Henry where he walks up, hang up that computer, Carl, and kiss me on my high mouth. I'm feeling romantic.
Yeah, I think the issue with MMM is you can start off in the right place, but if you're not connected with how conventions normally get, then you're going to fall short of expectations unless you make that stuff clear. And on top of that, running into not only one, but two other major conventions within a 2-hour driving distance is cringe, to say the least. And I think that's part of the reason why, okay, well, maybe guests get some autograph turnaround, or maybe they break even at the very minimum based on the turnaround that they get. But they obviously don't have the foot traffic because we're split between 3 cons in Central Texas, and that's never going to work for anybody.
I was told by multiple sources that the showrunner was kind of going for the reimburse everybody after the show. I think they were accounting for the income they were going to generate from the show.
The revenue.
Sorry, thank you. That ain't it, Chief. It ain't gonna work if you don't compensate the talent in some way. Especially in the Austin area. Austin area is not cheap. It ain't cheap. Fuck the fucking Uber for the fucking convention to the bus stop that we were gonna do was like $50 fucking, dude.
Well, I mean, from Austin to Round Rock, it's gonna be that much. So
I'll tell you one thing, Canada, if you're watching this fucking show, you better pay everyone back because you didn't pay anybody. Anyways, all right, let's talk about comic hero defending Goku from invaders. I hear. Oh yeah, can y'all hear him?
Yeah, we did.
Can y'all hear the fan? Let me turn down my gain a little bit. Yeah, Hero's over there barking. You could be outside, sneeze, or you yawn. You yawn loud enough, he'll start barking. Can't even do shit. Anyways, all right, let's talk about the con. Colossal Con. Each one of us, including some of the other people that are not on the show, that are not here to review it. Everyone that's in the Discord that we know of that's a panelist had 2 panels at most. And that seems to be a new policy that they kind of adopted this year. Or at least they might have adopted last year. I didn't go last year.
Yeah, I think last year, because they had less applicants, they're a little more flexible with it. They tried to give everyone about 2 panels in previous conventions as well, since they came to Texas. But now it's like, oh, we have so many applications, it's going to be a hard policy that we cut off at 2 panels.
Mm-hmm. So this is about Colossal Con, in case people are, coming in and wondering what we're talking about right now. Colossal Con.
Colossal Con Texas, which I felt, to me, is the strong contender for Convention of the Year this year. Because I had fun. I had a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. Like, yeah, the panel schedule
could have been a little. That's something we will address, because there was some stuff. So we were. We'll just add to it. So there was a point where Saturday, normally Saturday's like the peak, like everyone's busy and all that kind of stuff. You expect all the big stuff going on. When we read the panels for Saturday, we were at that point where we were questioning some of the choices of the times. So we'll give an example. This is the one we were talking about.
This is like the biggest one for us too.
So we saw that they were hosting Gunpla 101. If you're wondering what Gunpla is, basically building Gundams at 1 a.m. And we were like, wouldn't that have been like a 1 p.m. thing, not a 1 a.m. panel?
And they had an 18+ panel at 6 in the afternoon. I'm like, shouldn't these 2 have been swapped?
Yeah. Gundam at 1 a.m. Yeah, Gundam at 1 a.m.
Gundam's at 1 a.m.
At 1 a.m. in case you want to go get soaked.
They did and then they did like a Disney trivia at 10 o'clock at night. I was like, wouldn't that have been something for like, I don't know, 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon?
Something Colossal tries to do, which I don't know how much we agree with this or not, but Colossal, whether it's Prime or any of their other conventions, they try to always have one of their panel rooms as all ages all throughout whenever it's open. So that's part of the reason you have some of these weird panel placements. So you start the 18+ programming earlier on literally one side of the hallway, and the other side of the hallway is like
all ages.
Literally just family-friendly content, and it's weird.
I can see why they do so many adult panels during the day, because they want the adults to be able to do the adult content and go to the Wave at the Raves. I mean, Rave at the Waves, whatever. I keep getting the name mixed up.
It's okay. Which this year was 2 nights.
2 nights.
This was a 2 nights. So basically, they pulled a WrestleMania and made it
twice the fun, but twice the price.
No, here's the funny thing: is I find some of the most interesting panels that they have, like, to be scheduled during Rave at the Waves for those of you that don't want to swim, because ultimately this is like the ultimate party con. Like, at least in Texas, it's lived up to that reputation where it's nothing gets shut down, everything is just lit all the time, right? That's pretty much all you're doing most of the time.
This was some like Texas Renaissance shit when it comes to partying. People are still up, walking around, being stupid at 6 in. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
I woke up on Sunday morning and my Instagram feed was inundated with sunrise photos, and I was like, oh, like we went there. All right.
Yeah, it was funny because like we went to both nights of the rave at the Waves. And then I woke up, I was like, 3 hours of sleep to get in line for the flea market so we could sell our stuff. And it's amazing how like this convention, it's like one of those things where it's like, okay, your cycle, your body like night cycle is gonna like change up a lot. It's gonna get fucked up and you have to like really recover from it.
Like, oh my god. That reminds me, the they put a fan fiction panel, which fan fiction's my shtick. I'm coming after all of you.
So the comment says I went to that Disney panel and I was tired, but it was well attended at least. Yeah, I was there too. I had a lot of fun at that trivia panel. That was really nice. Shout out to the host. They'll be at San Japan. They're gonna do a Disney panel there, the trivia panel there too. So shout out to them. They were really great. It was awesome. It was really cool. The way they set up the whole trivia thing. And let's see. They put my fan fiction panel at 1 a.m. competing with the night swim, but I only got like 7 people. But it was a good, faithful 7 people. No, that's good. I mean, getting a good turnout is pretty good. Who knew? Colossal Con is known as the party convention. People have to stay up for it all night. Yeah, they do. And you got to be hot on that Disney bunder. I only got one answer in. I heard that they were a bit less upset about room parties this year. So either people were more quiet or the hotels knowing what to
We got to
expect
talk about that. We got to talk about the incident on the floor where we stayed. Damn, those cops were pissed, dude.
That was so bad.
We'll talk about that in a moment. Oh, I didn't realize that the fan fiction panel was yours, Mama Donovan. I'm not going to come after your panel, but I'm coming after the others.
The others.
They've been warned. I've hosted panels at 1 a.m. where I went to the wave. I went to the rave, and then I showed up soaking wet for my panel. I'm like, oh, look at that. Time to end. And then I'm the first one out of there. The people haven't even gotten out of their chairs yet. I'm already out the door. I mean, I've done it, but I'm kind of glad I didn't have to this year.
Yeah.
I know there were a lot of interesting. There were a few panels I saw in there that were interesting, but once again, you guys kind of know how I am. I don't really attend other people's panels.
I tried.
I only went to Sam's because I was bored.
Yeah, it seems like everyone was kind of on it for whatever they wanted to present. Like varying levels of skill, but everyone that applied this year seemed like they wanted to do what they wanted to do. It's just the main complaint, if anything, that I have is all of the game shows sort of went in the optimal times. So it's like during the day, I was talking to a bunch of my friends on Saturday especially, and we were like, we're bored because we don't want to go to game shows. We want to go to something that's interesting. And it felt very inundated when it's like, because a lot of the game show panel hosts, I find, especially at party cons like this, will say, I don't want to conflict with Rave at the Waves, or I don't want to conflict with a cosplay contest. And so they end up getting these kind of prime slots when, you know, a lot of other programming directors back in the day would have been a little bit harder on people like that and would have just outright rejected them, right?
I think also too what helps is that like when they did it 2 nights this year is because like, you know, in case there's some people who weren't able to go Saturday and it's like, oh man, I really wish they had this on Friday, or vice versa. So I'm kind of glad they gave people like a choice, like, hey, if you want to go Friday, you can go Friday. If you want to go Saturday, you can go Saturday. Or if you go to both, you can go to both. That's what I did. I went to both. The one thing I will say though is that like in terms of music, I know most people like really don't care for the music. They just want to like just drink and like go to the water slides and all that kind of stuff. But I can tell you, Saturday had more upbeat music than Fridays. Fridays was just the music they would play when it's like a normal day at the water park. But Saturday they actually had the DJs, doing remixes, all that kind of stuff.
Friday just felt kind of like not. When I first walked in there, it wasn't as packed.
Well, it's because they were also splitting with the dry rave. So
yeah, okay, I was
the driveway too, the Club Kaiju.
Yeah,
I have to be honest with you. I'll don't
be right back.
Really give a fuck for raves anymore.
I mean, everyone in the DFW side is so hyped for Club Kaiju everything. Like most weeks, that is like an off con week. It's like I get 4 or 5 people constantly advertising for Club Kaiju in the DFW area as if it's like the best thing since sliced bread. And it's like every Houstonian or Austinite that I talked to that like walked into the drive rave was like, the set and the way it was put together was just kind of mid. Like as much as I like Club Kaiju's concept as an organization, I'm not sure the con crossover works as well as it should. mainly because the Club Kaiju experience is getting drunk while listening to anime adjacent music. And when you're at an actual convention, a lot of times it's a little bit trickier to set up that type of environment because you don't have an active bar. And that's the way their sets are kind of designed. So I would say like it was an interesting choice to have two raves on Friday night. I think there was a lot left to be desired with both, and I think that's like the big takeaway for the Friday raves.
Okay, so to answer that question, I usually host a lot of panels. This is one of the few cons where it's been a very long time where I've attended a con and I didn't have like five, at least five panels or something around that number. Uh, at Allcon, we had 18 panels. That lets you know how much I do. And
And
okay,
no, I was gonna mention the comment raves being such a loose term. Yeah, it's more like a night. It was basically a night Adult Swim. Basically, that's the best way to describe it.
yeah.
Just Adult Swim.
Well, most dances you can't call them raves for insurance purposes
Yeah,
anyway.
legal. Yeah, for reasons. But this one, it was like, yeah, it was just basically a night swim, a
I
night
like
adult swim.
the water rave because people aren't just standing around in circles watching one fucking person dance,
Yeah, people are like swimming, and then they go to like,
hanging
I mean,
out,
yeah,
doing
then the
shit.
waters just go in the water slides in the at 2 in the morning. Imagine telling somebody who'd never been to Colossal before, like, yeah, we get to go through water slides, go through like the half pipes at 2, 3 in the morning, and they'd be like,
Dude,
what?
I fell and busted my fucking arm and my leg. That's why I was in a lot of pain the whole weekend.
So, uh, so this is not the Collins fault or anything, but this is a funny story. When we actually rode the water slides. This happened Friday night. We went to the one where it's like you need like a tube, and it's like you can either do singles or in pairs, and then you go inside, and there's like a little twister, little vortex inside, and then you keep spinning until you reach to the hole to get out to basically the end of the slide. We actually got stuck at the hole. We actually got stuck towards the edge of the hole. We were like, oh fuck, we're stuck. And then we had to like move around. We're like, all right, come on, move, 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 move. And then we eventually got out of it, but it was like pretty surreal. Like the first time we ever got stuck inside and it was dark too. This was like 1:32 in the morning. So this was like in the outside too. So it was like dark in there. We're like, oh shit. And I don't know. I just thought it was funny.
I think the most fun thing about Colossal in general, right, is they have that kind of corner of the market with anime cons, like cornered that, all right, we're going to take you to a pool party and that's going to bring out your inner child. Because every single person I talk to that attends any Colossal con, whether it's Prime, East, North, they're all like, yeah, I just feel like a child at that con.
You ever,
Yeah.
to kind of also share stories about the slides, one year, and this is when, Rummy was still with us, it was also, uh, it would have been Rummy's birthday this past weekend, by the way, everybody that knew who he was. Yeah, so one year at Colossal, when we all did the four-person tube thingy that looks like a fucking cup holder you get at McDonald's.
Like the quadruple.
Yeah, we got on it, and when you go through it, you go outside, and you go through like this big old fucking dome-like area where it's pitch dark, you can't see shit.
Yeah.
I fucking fell out. I'm trying to climb back in the damn tube before it leaves me behind. I fucking busted my ass. But no, I busted my leg and my arm in the jacuzzi area, in the grotto area, because somebody accidentally pushed me and I fucking fell and hit my uh on the fucking concrete. It's fucking pain in the ass. Uh, I spent most of my time in the jacuzzi area, dude. It was fun being out there and talking to people. I even got everyone to sing happy birthday to everybody celebrating their birthday that month.
You gonna save me?
That's a very
there.
cool thing to do.
You weren't there. As soon as we got there, you disappeared.
Oh.
You, Sonic, yeah, you are Sonic. Damn. I mean, U17, Canada, everyone that I went with as a group. Even my phone disappeared. I didn't have my phone for like a good 24 hours. Like I didn't have my phone, I didn't have my wallet, so no one could contact me. I had like 20 missed calls. I didn't finally get my phone back until Sunday night. I found nunchucks and a stethoscope, that shit that the doctors use in it.
A stethoscope. Yeah, basically what they use, like, you know, the thing in
Mhm.
their neck, and they,
Dude,
check your heartbeat
I found one of those in my backpack. I found some fucking
somehow.
nunchucks, someone's clothes. I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah, I don't even know what to tell you. People are into some kinky shit, man. What the hell? Some nunchucks and stethoscopes. What the fuck's going on here? But dude, I prefer the water rave. We were gonna suffer. We were gonna bully suffering into going.
I'm
We're
not
gonna
a full
start.
person, just so y'all know.
Oh no, that's not what you told us. You said I'm not gonna spend money.
Well, that's also a reason because I'm a cheap South Asian dude, right? But I'm
You got
not a full
lucky.
person either. So
When I was gonna start bullying you is right around the time I lost my phone.
and it might
I
have been
lost my
effective. It might have been effective.
the adult grotto is okay. So I'm an idiot. I'm trying to find a friend so I can kind of like talk to them and kind of hear them. I want it to be a lending ear and hear them out and kind of help them and be there for them. And I'm looking for the fucking grotto while I'm standing in the fucking grotto because I didn't know what the fuck a grotto was. And then I went in there. Turns out I was at it the whole fucking time, but they weren't there either, so it's whatever. Dude, there are some. Dude, it was fun as fuck. I enjoyed the hot tub. I didn't do the lazy river this year, unfortunately, but I did the wave pool. It was awesome. I enjoyed Friday night and Saturday night at the rave.
The
It
water
was
park, yeah.
yeah.
It's always a big it's always a big attraction, that the rave at the waves. And I remember somebody uh was at our Discord was asking, I was like, oh, how come IkiCon doesn't do this thing? And it's like, well, unfortunately it's because, the Kalahari and Colossal, they're like synergy, an agreement and all that stuff. So that's why.
Ikikon has a venue, which is the convention center part of Kalahari. Kalahari and Colossal literally have a direct partnership. That's why
The whole thing.
Kalahari hosts a Colossal Con.
Mhm.
Yeah, so this the nostalgia conventions, Kalahari and the yeah, they have this like big old contract partnership, but it's like at almost all of the Kalahari resorts.
I think it is almost all of them that have been open for at least 2 years. I think that's what Colossal does. That's how they expand. It's because they have that direct partnership, and it's been so successful for them because that's how they, get more badges every year when they build up a reputation. It's like Dank was mentioning before. It's like numbers keep going up for this con because it keeps getting this reputation, and I think we did see higher numbers here than we did in 24 or 25 for that matter. So
Well, I don't know about last year. I feel there might have been more people in 24 though.
it's hard to say. It's a lot more crowded. I know that line for the rave, for Saturday's rave at the Waves, was longer than I've ever seen it. Like because it went
Right.
Yeah,
But
it was.
that line has I'm gonna be honest with you, that line has always been fucking long and bullshit. The first time I got into it, it was like near the mac and cheese place. And that was
It's
years ago.
It was that long, yeah.
It was that fucking long. Uh I think maybe yeah, it was just about the same. I kind of feel like 24 was more, maybe because
I feel like more people were at the convention itself in 24, and I feel like the rave just kind of exploded because every single inkling I had of people being at the pool at this Colossal was just like, it was crowded. It was just crowded.
it was crowded. It was definitely crowded. I mean, it was like the fucking Hunger Games to get into the fucking elevator Sunday morning when everybody was fighting to check out.
Yeah.
Parking was once again a bitch. We ended up paying $25 in fucking delivery fees and tip money. That's all together. That's not. But we ordered Burger King and like the service fee was like $12.
Yeah, because most of us,
Tip.
because most of us didn't want to go. We didn't want to get out of the parking of the Kalahari because once you leave that, once you want like, hey, I want to go get something to eat like at a Chick-fil-A nearby or the Whataburger near or get something at Walmart. If you leave that parking lot, you're gonna have to find. You're guaranteed to like you're not gonna that spot's not gonna be there. You're gonna have to like probably have to go either further or if you're lucky
I'll tell you
closer
what.
to there.
Next year we're fucking Ubering because we would have actually saved money if we would have just Ubered. No, wait, we would have saved $5.
Yeah, and that's another thing too because the restaurant, the resort, the restaurants are really expensive. Like I'll give you an example: the one slice of cheese pizza at the little pizzeria there is like $8 without a drink. And it's like, oh, we could just get pizza. We end up getting pizzas at like Domino's, and we got like super cheaper.
I'm gonna be honest with you, dude. I don't know what it was, maybe because we drank until 6 in the morning and I slept all day. I just felt like shit, dude. Like eating the Burger King did not make me feel better. Then again, it's
Well, I
fucking
don't think
Burger
Burger King
King.
ever makes anyone feel better.
I just hadn't eaten
No,
food.
which is funny because we had the TV on in our room, and they had like Burger King commercials like every
Like
commercial
even on
break.
fucking Telemundo,
Univision.
dude. Compra un Whopper. I'm like, well,
Got uno
fuck it. Guess I'm
gratis.
getting a fucking Whopper.
Fuck it, let's get Whataburger. Let's get fucking Burger King.
No, the funny thing is that when like I brought my wife this weekend and she was like, okay, we want to do something different, like something we can't get access to in Houston. So we just ended up going to Culver's all 3 days.
Well, here's the thing. I wanted the fucking mac and cheese. I was gonna get the mac and cheese, but then I had to pay for Canada's bus ticket to get to fucking Round Rock, and that shit was like 100 and it was $46 each of us.
I mean, but the mac and cheese review has to go with IckyCon because IckyCon claims it's the best thing about the con. So,
You know what? That's fair, and we are gonna go to we are gonna try to go because I wanted to try the damn mac and cheese. We all talked about eating at the mac and cheese place, and I was like,
no,
you know what? I don't have
I
money.
literally ate there, and my caption was literally like, "Icky staff says this is so peak," because because it's the same venue. Like we could talk about it. It's just like Icky used to be the Austin convention, and now it's like Colossal gets so much more hype, it gets so much notoriety, it gets so much more reputation, and their claim to fame is this mac and cheese place, which Colossal also has access to. So it's like part of like the reason why we're reviewing Colossal the way we are is because sometimes Icky is just they're a clown show for their behavior at times. And some organizational aspects of Colossal kind of show how disorganized Icky feels year to year because it's the same venue. You can organize it the same way.
Yeah.
The fuck was I gonna say? Oh, let's talk about the thing. Let's talk about the incident that happened in so for the okay. So I think Sonic was in the room and I was on my way back. And there were a bunch of security and like cops in the hallway and a bunch of people in the hallway. And it turns out like somebody burned something in the microwave in their hotel room.
Does that remind you of anyone, guys?
Yeah, no, instantly I'm like, where's 17? Like instantly I was like, what did you do? He's like, I didn't do nothing. It wasn't me. And then we're all like looking, we're all laughing our asses off like they tried the honey bun thing as well. But no, 17 had nothing to do with it. Those fucking security guards, like the cops and the security were pissed, dude. They looked so fucking annoyed. Somebody, I'd say though, I legitimately, from the moment we got there, because we had our panel at 3 in the afternoon Friday, and then we had our second panel Sunday. I wanted to go to KamehamehaCon Saturday with someone I knew, but like my leg was hurting a lot, so I didn't really leave the room until 7 p.m. Saturday. Like Sonic left, came back 3 hours later, and I was still sleeping in the bed.
Yeah.
And then like Rock came by. He gave me a Gatorade. Apparently, I was having a whole conversation with him. I don't remember any of that. I was knocked out, but apparently I went into autopilot. So the laptop, it's not that the laptop died, the dock that I have for the ROG Ally because I was using the ROG Ally as a laptop. It just stopped working. So it cut my content for the Pokemon panel in half. I'm literally up there improvising about cockfighting for kids. There's only so many jokes you can cut about Pokemon. I couldn't cut half the jokes I wanted to cut about Pokemon because it was a family friendly panel. Um, the panel, it was all right. I mean, it. I wish it had been a tad bit longer. I will say this: the Uma Musume, the fucking
Pretty
Seabiscuit,
derby.
that pretty derby fucking My Little Pony bullshit ass fucking anime. Uh, that was before my, and they ended like 2 minutes into my fucking panel. I'm like, you motherfucker. Like, you should be wrapping up like 5 minutes before the next panel, not 2 minutes after the next panel starts.
Yeah, and I think that's the biggest criticism of how Colossal Con is scheduling in the first place is because it says on their panel contract they expect you to go anywhere from 45 to 55 minutes, or in the case of hour and a half panels, 75 to 80 minutes. And that's just not how panelists normally plan timing. So some turnaround time would probably be good instead of just cramming everything in.
Yeah.
Especially like as big as events 1 and events 2 were, they still didn't plan turnaround time on those. Like I know Chad had a bigger problem because he didn't start until 20 minutes in and he needs setup time. So like considering his performance panel, that's literally people losing out on time that they're actually going for. Because with your panels, people go for your personality and your commentary on things that you say on things. Like people go to Chad's panels to listen to his music. The less music that's there, the less effective the panel is.
That makes a lot of sense. The staff were nice enough to remind me, hey, you have 5 minutes left before your panel ends, and that's because I'm like, hey, could somebody let me know? Because I don't have my phone. My phone was missing at the time. I don't have a phone. I need somebody to let me know, like to help me keep track of time. We did have the Latino panel on Sunday, and it was a pretty interesting panel. We went over a controversial subject, which should Chadwick Boseman have his character T'Challa recasted in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and I gave my case as to why the character should be recasted. And I think some people actually agree with me. I think some people, if they didn't agree with me, they weren't very vocal about it. It was an interesting panel. I didn't sleep at all Saturday going into Sunday. I went back up to the room. I saw Sonic was gone. I looked for Sonic in the line for the swap meet market thing. I didn't see him because I guess he was sitting on the floor.
Yeah, I was there. He didn't spot me until like 5 minutes before we went into like Twitter table.
When I come back, when I left and came back, because I went to go get some stuff, and it's funny because like I set up, I'm like, all right, Sonic, can you sell my shit? It's $10 for any of the figures, and and then I give him I kept it pretty universal. This is 300. This is 150. These are all 10.
Yeah,
all right, cool. Because I had to go host my panel and then get my shit and get out of the room.
Yeah, so the flea market was actually, so this was our first year we actually sold stuff. Before we just went over there and see what they got. And once again, I say it all the time. I think the flea market is better than the vendors. And there's some attendees who talk to me. He's like, yeah, oh my god, I find much better stuff
here. Especially at Colossal this year. We'll go over
yeah, especially at Colossal. And then this year they added a market upstairs. So they did a trading card game market and a arts and crafts market. And those were actually really nice additions. For example, the Friday we were up there, we saw a bunch of people selling, Pokemon cards, trading One Piece, some Yu-Gi-Oh, some other cards, and it was actually pretty interesting. It was really nice to see. And then some of them went on to do it again Sunday of the flea market, and again, I feel like there was more stuff at the flea market than it was at the dealers, and what sucks because the dealers, for me, I feel like if you just go around once, you're like, all right, I already saw what I saw. pretty
Like,
much.
you don't have anything I like, and all of your shit's too expensive.
I mean, depending on who you talk to, yeah, basically that, because I saw some stuff there, like I was really interested in some of it, but then and it's nothing against the vendors. I understand, they make the decisions of the prices and stuff, but then sometimes the prices would just be like, yeah, I'll just look up through Amazon. Let's see. All right, so cheaper. Okay, gotcha. Something like that.
Yeah,
Again, it's nothing against them or anything. It's just sometimes it's just it's just how the vendors are. I guess some of them have like this weird intimidation per se.
Well, and it's
You
also
know,
because of Colossal Con's like booth purchase price and policy. So Colossal Con actually uses roughly half the space that IkiCon does for the same vendor area, because both of them use that same room for the vendor area.
yeah.
But like Colossal will cut it on both sides. They'll make a panel room out of that sliver at the end, and then they will make another room out of that end cap, and they'll make it like an arcade type of deal. I think that's what they did this year.
Yeah.
And so the vendor area is significantly smaller than IkiCon, but they also charge more for each vendor booth than IkiCon does. So what ends up happening is that a lot of vendors that are local to Central Texas will look at Colossal's prices and look at Iki's prices. Well, it's just like, I'm not going to break even if I pay Colossal prices because it's significantly higher than Iki's and there's less booth space. So you don't have a whole lot to do in the vendor area. That's part of the reason why the vendor area in ColossalCon Texas especially is so underwhelming. But also, like, the way they split stuff up, like the Artist Alley being way on the other side of the venue, that also being tiny, because they also charge an arm and a leg for Artist Alley booths compared to Iki, where that's where Iki's night market normally is. It really feels like the vending aspect of the convention is not a priority. And I think that's part of the reason MMM wanted to kind of capture something from Colossal, because they wanted primarily to be a trade show. Do I think it worked? No. But I think like there is some merit to, if it's going to be a bigger con, you do more con things and you optimize more for space, because a lot of people go to cons just to shop. And that's the reality of cons in 2026. And if I could go through the entire Artist Alley and vendor area in less than an hour and not see anything I particularly like or a booth I want to recheck, a lot of people are just going to be like, well, screw it, I'm just going to go somewhere else.
We're gonna call it the Marvel Manga Con, Marvel Morsels, the M&M,
3Ms.
the 3M Con,
There you go.
3M Con, 3Ms. I'm gonna tell you one thing. Based on what I saw, based on what I heard, based on what I read, I don't think they're ever gonna come back. I think this was a one and done. I think they're done. I think that they stupidly went into this past weekend. A lot of their guests canceled. I saw the cosplay competition. I'm telling you, based on the pictures, it looks like a fucking someone's tool shed.
No, and the funny thing is, they were originally scheduled when they first announced on that first week of August, where Anime North Texas and Ecchi Fiesta were. And I think they would have been successful competing with those two cons because of how niche both of those cons are, as well as just how little communication a lot of those cons gave, because they were pretty active on social media and pretty active about communicating. It's just a matter of why they decided to push 2 weeks into Colossal to try to capture market share. And it could have been a venue conflict, but even then, if you see Colossal there that's in the same metro area, I don't know why you would make the conscious decision to compete, because you're probably going to run into red as a first-year con, right? Mm-hmm. And I don't think this guy's necessarily a bad dude. I think he got all the right intentions. It's just a matter of that execution. You need to talk to people about what practices actually are. And that's like the biggest criticism we're going to have about why Colossal was the hype.
It's hard for me to agree that he's not a bad dude, because he didn't want to pay the fucking guest until after the fact. He didn't want to pay for their hotel, their flights, their gas, nothing, until he wanted to reimburse them after the show.
Well, that's
and that sounds like he didn't have the money and he was just gonna like
That's literally not knowing process of how to run these types of shows, because this guy's a first-time showrunner. He didn't talk to any of the showrunners.
So for context for people out there, this is for the Manga Marvels and More Cells convention. So we're talking about this convention.
Yeah.
So I could just read here. So there's a thread on Reddit about it. If you want, I could just read the newest comment about it. So this was 11
read
hours
the newest
ago.
one.
Okay, so here we go. From the very beginning, they made us pay for parking, which we never had to do as vendors. Then we set up on Friday, which I wasn't planning on staying, but try to make some type of sales, which I didn't. Saturday, vendors showed up at 9 to get into the building before guests arrive at 10. They denied us entry until 10. The venue itself was completely disorganized. It was practically a small marketplace. The outside pavilion only had maybe 4 or 5 booths that were completely spread out from one another, and it seemed vacant. On Saturday, one of our booths that was selling lemonade ended up packing their stuff and just leaving because it was so dead. Then come to find out the voice actors were having issues on not getting paid from the convention, like their contract stated, and so they went on a standout, meaning they didn't sign anything. They didn't sell anything. They didn't even interact with the guests until the convention paid them for being there. Meanwhile, on Saturday, we only sold maybe 7 items, which was ridiculous. Come Sunday, we were told again that we weren't to be in the building until 10 a.m., so we decided to not show up at the convention until exactly 10. When we walked in, everybody was already inside, so there's a potential loss of sales. Hardly any customers showed up until around noon, and even then, we only sold maybe 4 items. But we noticed that around 2 p.m., the voice actors were told to leave by the convention showrunner because they could not be paid further after 2 p.m. People were upset because they had been waiting for the artists and they only technically had maybe 2 hours with them today. We ended up calling it a day and left early. Overall, it was the worst show ever, and I highly doubt that I'll be coming back.
There is one more story that came out of this.
Mm-hmm. Do you want me to read that one too?
It's about the kid.
Okay, no, I don't see about the
I think it's in a
kid.
different Reddit. Oh, okay. From the very beginning of the page. Okay, I see the one that you just talked about right now.
Mhm.
It looks like there's more than one thread about it.
Yeah, this is one. It was like anyone going to the convention. This was posted like 3 weeks ago, and people were posting. This is the newest ones. If you want, I'll read the other new one.
Okay. Oh, okay. This is the one. This isn't on Reddit.
Okay.
This is on Blue Sky, Blue Ski, By
Blue
Ski.
Sky.
Yeah.
Okay. If you can help, so apparently they're looking for a child. Witnessing a truly heartbreaking moment when a small child wandering around the vendor hall with his parents going, "Where's Kane?" when the voice actor left yesterday because he allegedly wasn't getting paid or whatever. And then they kind of laughed. LOL. We were able to flag them down and we were getting them to send a message to your work. Okay, so there's an entire thread and there's even a picture of the kid, and I'll go ahead and post that in the comment section.
Okay, so if we're gonna post okay, never mind.
Wait, what's wrong?
I was gonna say like, do we have permission of posting the kid? Is the kid's face like blocked or they're
No, he's
okay
in
with it?
cosplay.
Okay,
They're actually trying to find the kid because they're trying to help him get in contact with the voice actor.
okay,
Because the
gotcha.
kid went and this. Imagine if this was their first con.
Mm-hmm.
And they were completely let down because of a lot of miscommunication, a lot of the con not paying them, the voice actors being pissed, being made so many promises, then they get screwed. So the fans themselves get screwed, and then this child got screwed over, and this might have been their very first convention. This is This is like it looks like I've never been on this website before. It looks like fucking what is it? Twitter? Looks like fucking Twitter.
Blue Sky is exactly like old Twitter, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's basically what it was. Yeah.
But there is a picture of the child's cosplay with his parents, and it's like I don't know what I'm looking at here, but it's like it's a helmet, it's teeth with 2 eyes inside of it, and he's got like a red jacket suit. I don't want to post the picture, but it looks like some has-been hotel shit. No, I'm pretty sure it's not from Hasbin Hotel, but
It's I don't see the photo of the kid.
hey, you gotta scroll down.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so the kid is cosplaying as Kane from Digital Circus. So in case people are
Digital
wondering,
Circle. Okay, I've never seen Digital Circuits.
Yeah, but I think the big thing with MMM is just like if you want to have a con, it is good to ask people for advice and like lean on people's experience rather than just thinking you can do it all on your own. I would say that's the biggest lesson from this convention because the minute you decide I can do things my way and I can run business in the way that people aren't accustomed to, and not make it clear with them, this is the type of things that happen. That people get really, really disappointed. Their expectations are very not great, and especially when you try to make yourself out as a kind of substantial convention, but you end up just trying to configure yourself like a trade show and don't even provide the type of avenue that vendors want in a trade show. A lot of things end up falling flat, and I think part of the reason why this particular owner didn't have a lot of help is because they decided, oh, I can run it against Colossal and Kamehacon. That's totally fine. And it was just a bad decision in hindsight, I think.
and
I
also,
hate this comment. I'm so sorry. I fucking
no, and in case you're wondering, the link that you sent, Goku, that's the one of the voice actors for Digital Circus. So that actually kind of helps that like their help spreading the word.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Yeah. I'm completely confused. I feel called out. I'm sorry. I feel a little called out. I do watch new shit. I just
I think Goku would watch like a Has-Been Hotel or a Digital Circus or something else like that if the fandoms didn't get so toxic, because that immediately turns him off from wanting to watch some of these new shows.
oh no, because, no. Honestly, I've seen clips of it and I've seen clips of both, and I don't like them. I mean, I watch Invincible. That's new,
No,
but moving on.
the funny thing is though is when it comes to these types of new animation styles, it's like when the fandom is good, like the Avatar: The Last Airbender fandom, it makes you want to watch the show and ropes you in even if you're not interested at first. But the fandoms in these particular shows sometimes are so wonky that you're like, I don't want to touch that.
Yeah, no, they're pretty fucking wonky. I'm just like, look, the only reason why we're even talking about this fucking show to begin with is because people were literally talking to me about it during uh somebody that went because they talked to Deacon Rap, and apparently nobody attended his fucking concert. I haven't watched his video about the con. If somebody has it or if somebody finds it or if somebody can find it, let me know. I'll go watch it right now. But apparently he wasn't even in the main convention area. They put him in a different building, and you had to walk outside through, and the length was of a football field in 110-degree heat to go see him perform Dami Mommy.
And they had one panel room, by the way. Like, even though they had open applications for panels, they only planned for one panel room, right? I doubt the AV equipment was all that great. But even then, if your panel room is going to be that far away, and then you're going to ask for reference checks as a first-year con to host that programming, like Anime Ultra, Anime South Texas didn't even ask that, right? And that's in a similar area.
It kind of reminds me of Retropalooza, where like especially the one here in Houston, they have one panel room, but it actually they obviously it's well organized, all that kind of stuff. But it kind of like the way this convention is being described, it's like Retropalooza in terms of the layout, except it's outdoors and Todd it has like different sections.
I was gonna say the fact that it only has one panel room or one panel. You know what that fucking reminds me of? Anime Texas, their final year when they only had the one panel room at that fucking expensive as bullshit hotel.
Well, the Sinesta did have 3 panel rooms. I'll be fair. They did have 3 panel rooms.
Okay.
It's just no one attended any panels because no one was there.
Okay, that was that year where they were near the Galleria, but the final year, they were closer to the Woodlands again.
Oh yeah, that's right. You're right. That was 2 panel rooms. That was actually 2 panel rooms because they had a shed of a
They had
panel
two.
room.
I only saw the one.
Yeah, they had a shed of the panel room that was off to the side. That is literally smaller than Delta's panel room 3. It was literally
I know
small.
because they put my Dragon Ball versus Naruto in there, and it was packed.
Yeah.
To the point where it looked like a Mexican church with people standing outside. But like I said, the only reason why we're talking about it because they were on the same weekend. We don't have anyone that went to KamehameCon that would be able to come and review the con anyway. I've never been to KamehameCon, surprisingly. That I mean, I say surprisingly because it might be surprising to all of y'all watching the show that Mexico has not been to KamehameCon, despite the fact that he's obsessed with Dragon Ball Z.
Honestly, if you need to know anything about KamehameCon, it is essentially the Sean Schimmel con because he's always the headlining guest.
Oh fuck that! I don't want.
I don't think he was even there this year.
He was.
He was
Yeah,
because
he
I didn't see him at all on the.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, the only Chris Sabat was there. The voice.
Yeah, he's always there.
The Japanese voice of Vegeta was there too. That was like the two main attractions. Yeah, I don't see.
Was he not there this year?
Yeah,
Oh, fuck me. The one year
yeah, Sean Schimmel was not there this year.
Wow,
I could have gone this year, but I didn't. And
I thought I saw him on the guest list, but they had every.
No, I didn't see him on there either because I was gonna go, and I think him not being there was what attracted me the most. I'm like, oh, good, he's that fucking dickhead's not gonna be there.
Look, like
I haven't said
Sean
it yet.
just has problems with the fact that his IP is abridged and he's not the only Goku voice actor in the world. That's his problem.
And now that they're Crunchyroll and not Funimation, they have other like they're all in the same fucking company now. Like even the Mexican one, so he can kiss someone's ass. Fuck you, Sean. Well, you know what? Let's get it all the way. Here are the your Geeks Fab ever. Oh, he said it. He said the thing portion of the episode.
Yeah.
Fuck Anime Matsuri. Fuck the French. What else do I say? Oh, you know what? Fuck Shem Shemmel. There you go. There's a new one.
Yeah, that's surprising. I thought I saw him on the guest list this year, but I guess not. But every other voice actor that normally comes was there. So it is literally the if you want to meet DBZ English voice actors con, and they always have one Japanese guest from the original Dragon Ball, which they did this year. So it's cool. I just think they're being outdone by Tokyo X this year, which is hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck. Okay. Yeah. I looked up how much it's going to cost.
Yeah, we know. It's just for an autograph.
For those of you that aren't aware, for the Japanese voice actress of Goku, it's going to be $3,000.
Mm-hmm. Just the autograph, no photos, nothing.
No photos, no pictures, nothing.
Yeah, I don't know.
Can't make eye contact either.
Yeah, I don't know what I don't know Masako Nozawa's agent, what they're like, okay, I know my client is 80 years old, so I'm gonna just charge
90
over the map for all
90. She's turning 90 that weekend.
90.
Yeah. And so people have said like, oh, in other places she would have charged like $10K. Like this is like the cheapest you'll probably ever get her.
I mean, it's probably true because it wouldn't surprise me if you were at Comic-Con and she was charging 150,000 yen for an autograph or something, right? It wouldn't surprise me.
Wasn't Stan Lee like a couple $100 for a selfie? Wasn't it like $100 or something like that?
I mean, like before inflation and before people actually started charging for autographs, because Stan Lee stopped doing conventions when people started charging, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and she only does. I think so. So far, it's only for the autograph. It's not for like a photo, nothing. It would just be like you would pay $3K for one item. It has to be like a max of 3 items per person. Official merch. All autographs will be personalized with a name and the autograph.
Did not know that, Donald.
Yeah, and it says, let's see, it says here, no meta glasses, no video recording, no photos or selfies, no quotes, no handmade, no unofficial, no trading cards.
So no really unofficial? Whoa, shit.
Yeah, so no fan arts, none of that. I'm like, yeah, so they're really... really serious about this one. And
Yeah, no meta glasses. Didn't we just talk about that?
yeah, we were just talking about then. Well, there you go. Yeah, so with and it's not accounting fees and stuff too. So with fees, it would be $3,424 if you want to get an autograph from her.
Jesus fucking Christ.
I mean, my favorite Goku voice actor is the voice actor for Kid Goku and Gohan. So,
Oh, Stephanie Nadoli.
yeah.
My favorite's the Spanish one. He'll do it for like a taco and a cerveza. So yeah, fuck that.
I mean, that's like a normal Spanish voice actor that was like.
And he'll be there too. He'll be at Tokyo X.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So all
he'll
three
literally
Gokus
do it
will be
for a
there.
hot dog and a handshake from Costco though.
No, but that's I think was the crazy thing about KamehaCon's timing is just like Tokyo X was like, hey, y'all are going to KamehaCon, right? Let's drop all these Dragon Ball guests on people the week leading up to KamehaCon.
But this is way too fucking much though, dude. Because in July we had Sonic had Anime Expo. We had DreamCon, Delta, Matsuri. Then in August we have Colossal,
Mm-hmm.
and there are a lot more. We had Etchi
Colossal.
Fiesta.
Too many cons are crowding around summer, right? I think we can all kind of agree on that.
It's way too much. And then in 2 weeks we have San Japan, and you're not going to compete with San Japan. Let's just put it out there.
Unless you're Dragon Con, right?
Unless
Yeah,
you're Dragon
Con,
Con
yeah.
or DreamCon, but even then, that's just going to do more. I don't think Dragon Con would do that much of a. I don't think it would make that much of a difference.
Well,
honestly.
the reason why no other conventions in the country dare to touch Labor Day weekend is because anyone that Dragon Con doesn't get San Japan will get. So there's like not really a market for even a local convention anywhere because everyone's flying to San Antonio or Atlanta that weekend.
That is actually fairly fair. But after San Japan, I'm just kind of fucking done, dude.
I've even said I'm taking a break from like October. I think October there isn't much going on for me per se. It's like
there's Sumicon.
Yeah,
but I'd rather go to Renaissance. Renaissance is like the Sumicon on steroids.
I mean, yes and no. Like there are different things Sumicon does provide. Like you don't like the VTuber stuff, right?
I fucking hate VTuber stuff.
And then it's just like I'm not gonna get like graphic hentai at Renaissance Fair. I'm just gonna get people being debaucherous, right?
I mean, like at the Texas Renaissance campgrounds, it's all kinds of anarchy, debauchery, hootenanny, hoedown. So when we found out this one girl that our friend hooked up with, she got stabbed in the hoo-ha when she was a stripper. So, I don't hear stories like that at TsumiCon. Not saying that I want someone to get stabbed in the hoo-ha. I'm just saying. Please, Geeks 5 Ever. PSA, your public service announcement. Geeks 5 Ever encourages everyone and actually wants you to be nice to your strippers. Remember, tip them. Don't stab them.
S work is real work, guys.
Look, at this point, everything is work. I'm about to go be a professional crackhead.
Literally, inflation makes it where everything is work in some way. So
no, with a knife. It was with the knife. She got stabbed in the hoo-ha with a knife, and this was while she was working. I don't know the Lord. I know it was a knife, but that's all I know. That girl's name was Serendipity, and she, look, there's a whole story that I would love to share behind that whole serendipity thing that happened that weekend. Can't share it on the podcast. I can share it in the Discord, but not on the podcast.
Join the Discord, guys. Also, while you're at it, throw a like on that video.
Yeah, please throw a like on the video. But we have a lot of Twitch today.
We do have a lot on Twitch. So if you're not already following on Twitch, please follow on Twitch.
I pretty much give it up on Twitch. Our YouTube channel is doing pretty well though. This isn't our normal night for the podcast, so our YouTube portion of it is not doing as well as the Discord. I'm sorry, not Discord, Twitch. God, there's too many platforms. But going back to Colossal, I really did enjoy the balance this year. It was kind of like Sonic mentioned, it was odd to see Gunplot 1 in the morning. I don't agree with having a family
That feels funny to
friendly
me.
panel at 1 in the morning because you're honestly, as a parent, your kids,
Already asleep by
whether
now.
should be like in the room, even if they're teenagers. You don't want teenagers running around with a bunch of drunks
And
because we all know.
I get wanting to give every attendee something to do, but there's a certain time that minors probably should be asleep. And I think responsible, like, con going as a parent would be, hey, they're asleep in the hotel room watching anime, right? Not with all of the other people that are doing very, very ratchet stuff and probably doing not safe for work things in semi-public, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like there was a couple at but this was at the rave. They were really going at it. I was like, damn.
Well, otherwise the pool party would just be mid if they weren't going at it, right? Like that's the thing. And the whole point of an 18 plus pool party is you see stuff like that. Like,
I don't want to see that shit. I will say this though. Yeah, I would not have any, even if they're teenagers like 15, 16, 17. I wouldn't have them near some of the people that are drinking because we met someone at the grotto, the hot tub. She wanted to dump her boyfriend because he is kind of using her. The dude started flirting with her when she was 16 and he was in his mid 20s.
yeah.
It took the entire group of people that were like hanging out with her to tell her, fuck that guy. He's a piece of shit. He's a groomer. And no, it's not somebody we know. It's a nod to him. Not this time, at least.
But
If you know,
that's,
you know.
I think that's part of the upside and the downside of the party con, unfortunately, is because then the freaks come out to play, and whether those freaks are doing anything correctly or not, it gets swept under the rug as the party culture.
What the fuck is the cabaret? No, I did not go to the cabaret.
Wasn't it paid this weekend? There wasn't like a free event that you could just like pop in and you had to pay for it to get in?
No, I don't know.
I feel like it was. I may be wrong, but I didn't have very much interest because, again, I was with my wife, and yeah.
Oh, it's free?
Oh, it was free? Okay.
We were pre-gaming in Chad's room.
Donovan, do you know if Kara Kara was doing it, or was some other organization doing the cabaret? Because I honestly don't know. I wasn't following it. Like, I knew who was doing the main cafe, and that's about it. So
I will say this. I don't know. Okay. We did room with Sonic this year, and we didn't have a room party. We didn't have random people. Well, Canada did, but he's.
Yeah, we had people that surprised the hell out of us that came to the room at 4 a.m.
That was Canada, or it was the one person that was bringing me back to the room to make sure I was okay. It was one person, but they didn't enter the room. Canada brought random strangers into the room. And this is like, here's the thing.
For the record, I will say I did not have any problem with that. It's just, I was surprised about it.
The thing is, I felt a little bad because, for one, you don't know them. I don't know them. You were asleep, and it was 4 a.m. Like, I'm like, dude, Sonic's asleep. Don't take people to the room, dude. Go to their room. What's wrong with their room? There's a public restroom over there.
Proceeds to take them to the room.
Because he was trying to get some. They were gonna do it on the pull-out bed. And I was like, no, I will elbow drop. I will Macho Man elbow drop you. And then he proceeds to get mad. You cock blocking. I'm like, bitch, you weren't gonna wait. Fucking Canada. Fucking. There was once like we don't have any drama in our room. We have shenanigans. It's usually just one of the guys in the room being stupid. We did have Chad come over, Rock came over, a few people came over and hung out, which was always fun and fun.
Yeah.
Honestly, though, it was like such a relief for once to not be in charge of the room. But I had to be in charge of Canada in 17, so that was still kind of stressful. But
Yeah.
overall, I mean, it was fun. I enjoyed the con. I enjoyed my panels. I attended one other panel that wasn't mine. I did want to attend the Resident Evil panel, but that was before I found out it was trivia. Because I fucking hate game shows, even though I host one now.
Yeah, I mean, as far as my panels go, I mean, I had about the same layout or configuration as you. So I think the one thing that I sort of didn't like about the way it was scheduled is in 2024, which is the last Colossal Con I paneled at, because I did not attend 2025 either. That I asked programming team, hey, let me do some of my more interesting panels. Let me take up a little bit more time. That way, I actually draw audiences and I give alt entertainment. So one of my I would say best attended panels, which is my K-pop versus J-pop panel, they put at Rave at the Waves, and that's graded as a 13 plus panel, and they put some other 13 plus panels in the scheduling. They were kind of at awkward times in 2024. That's why 2025 I didn't make it too much of a priority. Then I applied again in 2026 with my full gamut, and they gave me 2 family-friendly panels that were just an hour. One was 5 p.m. on Friday. That was the power of friendship in anime. And then on Sunday at 1 p.m., I had my teachers in anime panel, which I think a lot of people in our audience have probably seen, just because I tend to draw in a lot of people that just want to chill and hang out there. The issue I have, especially with the no turnaround time thing, is that if there's any little hiccup whatsoever, especially in panels that run minute to minute, or maybe I want to yap a little bit extra on something, then I lose some other part of the panel. So I was like, okay, I know that there's no turnaround time. I want to give enough time for a panelist. I know I have to be done with my intro slides in about 15 minutes. But because I'm talking with the audience and we're actually having fun and enjoying it, I look at where the intro slides are at. I'm like, oh, it's the 20-minute mark. I need to move, right? And it ended up being where at the end I get to 2 of the last animes I have. I can't even play the clips. One of them got copyright struck on YouTube, so I need to pull up a new clip for that. But the fact that even with those 2 clips gone, I'm still running at 57 minutes because the crowd was vibing is just that is an argument for cushion time, I think.
Right. This con, because I'm same, we talked about it. I missed last year, and I got more of a feel for what I should do panel wise if I'm gonna only be allowed 2. I would definitely want to do a more comedy panel rather than an informative panel.
Yeah.
I don't mind the informative panels, but the rooms were massive.
Yeah. So
they gave us these big ass fucking panel rooms that are main event rooms for other conventions.
Yeah.
And as a panelist, if you don't fill up, not all of our panels are gonna fill up a 500 plus panel room. We have some that 30, 40, 10, whatever, right? If you put me in a panel room that takes 1,000 for a panel that's only meant to entertain 40, it's gonna look really bad.
Yeah. And so for context, Goku's panel on Friday was in Events 2, which had the capacity for about 600 seats. My panel on Friday was in panel room 3, which is one long room towards the end of the vendors hall, where they kind of tuck away stuff. And this one long room had a capacity for about 300 seats. So I'm literally while I'm doing my sound check at the start of the panel, right, I'm okay, do I have it loud enough to where someone sits in the back of the room, they just want to peep in? Can they hear what's going on? Can they see what's going on? Because I don't think the screen is big enough to see from the back of the room. So there's things that are going on where it's just I appreciate that they're giving us all the space in the world, but is the space being used in the best way? I'm not so sure. Just because at times I felt like it felt like I would rather have more vendors here and cut my panel room in half for panel room 3 just to make sure people are having a more enjoyable experience of this convention, right? And I rarely say that at a convention. I always want all the space in my panel rooms. But the way Colossal Con configures it, I'm just like, there's at a time where you do some overkill, and I feel like that was done here.
Well, because we've talked about it before, like their main focus isn't really the panels, it's the party, it's the rave. It is a party con, it's always going to be their main focus. That's their biggest concern. I do see that. I saw it based on the schedule again because I had to get reminded because I missed last year that this is the Wave at the Rave is their focus. Like that is their bread and butter. The panels are kind of just there. They're secondary. It's like, okay, panels are more of a tradition.
It's to the extent where I would say that there were plenty of people that did not buy a pass at all, but still bought a pass to Wave at the Raves or Rave at the Waves. Yeah.
Could you do that? Can you do that?
So what they said on the website is you were supposed to have a badge in order to purchase a Rave at the Wave wristband or to pick one up, I believe, but I don't know how the rules were enforced because when we got ours, we got our badge.
So you can just borrow your friend's badge, purchase it like that, and that's how a lot of people got in. That's why there was more people potentially in the pool than there were at the convention floor.
Yeah, I feel like there were because like there were some people when we were there even Friday and Saturday, where we're like, I never saw him on the con floor, like, at all. I was like, this is the first. And whenever people were leaving, they were, you know how normally, like, some people would actually go up the stairs to their hotel rooms. Most of them just took the exit on the right, like, basically, like, the entrance to the actual, like, the arcade and all that kind of stuff. So most people came from outside of the convention, outside of the resort.
Mm-hmm. I was going to say, like, I mean, a lot of the times, though, it could have been, like, my situation to where no one saw me the whole day until night. Like by the time everybody saw me, it was like 8, 9 o'clock at night because I didn't go down to the con at all. I will say this is information for everybody. It is cheaper to buy it at the event.
Yeah.
This was confirmed by the guy that actually does the ticketing, the pricing, and runs.
So some advice for next year.
Yeah, actually, we saved because they don't do any of the fees that they would on the website, and they did a discount if you bought multiple. Like, I think we saved $6 by doing it in person.
Yeah,
for 4 passes, 2 Fridays, 2 Saturdays.
Yeah, they save on the online fees, so they just give it to you as a straight price.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, I would say that I think, like, because I'm not gonna like rat out any of my friends that did this, but I know people that did not buy a badge; they just borrowed from somebody else, and they just used that to purchase their wristband. Like, and
Canada.
I have at least
you immediately call them out on.
I have at least 10 people off the top of my head that did that. Probably more. Like, probably a lot more.
The only person I knew that fucking did that shit was Canada and just broke ass.
But yeah, I mean, it's a testament to what this con is trying to make itself about when the convention itself isn't the highlight. And that's like I would say not my biggest criticism, but probably my biggest criticism is that it's a con that hosts a pool party because the pool party is bigger at this point.
Oh, by the way, I forgot. I've been meaning to talk to you. So there are people. We met people that are that watch the show, that are in the Discord that never interact with us. They just watch us from a distance. They find the shit talking in the waifu game fucking hilarious.
Oh,
so
okay.
Apparently, we need to keep talking shit. We got to keep talking shit to each other in there, which is funny because like. We do talk a lot of shit to each other in there, but in person, it's like, huh? Like, we didn't even bring up the game once, except for the fact that Diamond and 17 kept summoning.
Yeah. No, it's because The reason why we do that, right, in the Discord, join the Discord, by the way, because we're a lot more personable there than professional on this podcast, right? If you call us professional. But I would say you join the Discord primarily because like we're all just a bunch of homies hanging out. That's what Discord's supposed to be. So the vibe of the social media environment would be like you'll get to know us as people, and that's why we can like shit on each other all the time.
Yeah, it feels like we all hate each other, but in person we don't.
We're just goofing off, basically.
Yeah, no, I mean, just for the record, Deacon, we don't hate you. We just don't want to see your wiener anymore.
If he watches the podcast still. I don't know.
No, yeah, he left that shit because we were getting him crap for not wearing a dancer's
We
belt.
just roasted him a little bit too hard, I think. That's what ended up happening.
Man, whatever. Y'all roast me all the fucking time. Oh, he said the line again. Oh, there goes Mexicoing it up.
Well, like some people have thicker skin, right? Like that's just how things go, right? I don't think like Deacon, like he's one of my homies, but I know he's not the thickest skinned person, so it's like it makes sense.
Oh, you know what that is, right? Because one day we were talking shit about Pokemon, and he thought we were talking about him, and he looked like his feelings were hurt. This was on the podcast, by the way. This was like, it was 2024, one of those episodes, and he was on here, and he thought we were talking about him. Like, no, dude, we're talking about Pokemon. Relax. Like, the universe doesn't revolve around you. My universe definitely doesn't revolve around you. But yeah, no, he doesn't have thick skin at all. But yeah, no, on the Discord, it's a different story because we even have a quotes channel on there that a lot of the times that can be taken out of context.
Mhm.
I will say this though, fucking Geek Cred, if you're watching this, the next time you agree to sell something, motherfucker.
And he turns the shit on. He might as well bring it up, huh?
Dude, I'm trying to find a fucking PS5.
So this is why, if in case you're wondering what the hell's going on for any viewers out there, this is why you should join our Discord, because now you'll know. you'll understand why.
yeah. You understand why I constantly say fuck anime Matsuri, fuck the French, and I hate it here. Like that's literally, I hate it here. No, but like, it was good to like the con-wise. I mean, I got to see a lot of people I haven't seen in a while. I got to meet JF and K for the first time in person, even though I think we've met before. Me and Sonic, surreal though. We actually met people that watched the show that we didn't know.
If you're watching the show, hi.
Hello.
Hello. Shout out to those people, because we found out through we were at the flea market on Sunday and we had a table, and then we had people come up to us like, "Are you guys from the Kings Fire River?" Like, yeah. I was like, "Oh my god, I watch you guys all the time."
Yeah, it's like, so it's funny because it was at the yeah, like you said, the flea market thing, the trade the swap
flea
meet.
market.
Yeah, the flea market, and I'm literally at a table right across from ours because the guy was talking to me. He's like, "Dude, you're so fucking." He's like, "Thanks for making me laugh. You're entertaining. You're there making jokes." And apparently, he attended one of my panels and he hung out at the hot tub, and I was making people laugh. So he makes me like a fucking sandwich because I'm about to throw up because I don't.
Yeah, you had a sandwich.
I even show up to Sonic like, "Look, somebody fed me a sandwich."
Yeah, I was gonna say, where'd you get the sandwich? I legit was like, "Where'd you get the sandwich?"
He's like, "Did you buy that from somebody?" Like, no, he just gave it to me.
And I brought up, I was like, "You didn't bring me any."
And it's funny because like then this one of our followers approached me. "Are you Geeks 5 ever?" I'm like, "Huh? Yeah, are you Geeks 5 ever? Why do I owe you money?"
Are we in trouble?
Whatever. I don't know what you heard, but it's Canada's fault. And then like, "Oh, I really like the show." I laugh, and then she was telling us how she follows the Discord and laughs in there, and
yeah, and then we were like, what's your name on Discord? And we're like, "Oh my god, that's you!" And it's like sometimes we meet people.
Oh, do you remember? Because I know it's anime. I remember at the time I was running on no sleep.
Yeah, I mean, so was I, but
Hey, you had more
uh,
than me. Like,
yeah, fair.
dude,
But
I almost passed out at the Chinese restaurant
Yeah, you were noticeably like,
but
uh,
falling asleep, dude.
I'll speak for both of the co-hosts here. The reason why they do this, the reason why they have a Discord and a podcast and all this other stuff, is that sense of community. That's often what we find that we're missing in conventions, and that's something that they have worked hard at building up. So,
Oh, I thought you were gonna call me an attention whore.
nah, you guys have done so much to make sure people feel included, right? Over the years, that it's like
Is that why we
more people
chicks
need to
sneaking
appreciate.
away?
More people need to appreciate the fact that like this is a space where we can have community as convention goers, right? And there's not
absolutely.
enough of those that exist anymore.
No, absolutely, because that's usually what we our goal is to do that. Is our goal to like try to interact with other people, especially like interests and kind of stuff. If anything, the waifu game kind of like is starting to help in a way where it's like
That blew
everybody's play.
up.
Yeah, that blew up. It's funny because as y'all were playing, 17 DM'd me say, "Hey, look what I got," and I saw who he claimed. I was like,
Oh no,
"Man, you gotta
it
take
was
care
great.
of her."
So I shut the
So
fucking game down Friday afternoon, and
yeah.
everybody's wanting. You get 17 asked me, "When are you gonna turn it off?
Oh
When are
no,
you gonna turn it
and
off?"
then shout out to Crybaby Cosplay. She was on our Discord and she's like, "When you guys gonna turn on?" She put the emojis like this.
Yeah.
Are you gonna turn it back on?
You know, it's funny because I told 17, "Hey, turn the game back on." Okay, and because like I wake up Saturday, and he's like, "Diamond summoned." I'm like, "What? Diamond summoned? How?" Oh,
He's
he's a
admin.
fucking admin. And then it's like, that's bullshit. And then he starts summoning. I'm like, stop it. Stop it. I'm yelling at him. Stop. You're going to get me in trouble with suffering and chat.
Yeah. No, the good thing is, like, literally right as he opens it, he pulls Roxy Nagurdia from Mushoku Tensei and just gives it to me. He's like, all right, you won't give me shit now.
Hey, I gave you one. I should get Crazy Girl for free.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, so
like, as long as things are fair, like, I understand you have to be the dominant end by, like, a country mile, right? But as long as things are fair and things are being distributed equally, then it feels like a game, right?
oh, I mean, the only reason I mean, like I started playing when you started playing. I just never claimed.
I mean, I picked up like waifu bot on different Discord servers like in COVID because I was bored. So I became like really good at getting roles and establishing stuff and everything else. So I have a lot of other stuff. Like if you pull up my roles count in your server, like you will see have me like so many roles stocked up because I just have been playing on global servers. But like playing with y'all is sweaty sometimes.
I know it like that's why we had to make a fucking rule. Like it got so fucking competitive and bad. And this is the waifu game, guys, in the Discord. We had to make a rule like you can't steal each other's fucking summons because it was getting to the point where people wanted to throw hands. 17, I had to take away his admin status because he was going to put y'all in timeout because y'all pissed him off at one point. I don't know who did it, but somebody stole one of his summons. And this is when I made the rule. All right, no more. No more motherfuckers.
But yeah,
Uh,
like the game is really fun. And it's a good way to bond, especially for weebs. So
No, yeah. So this, if you're wondering what does this have to do with Colossal Con, it's because we shut it down during Colossal, and then fucking Diamond, who we haven't heard from in like a week, was on their plane after I made the announcement. He motherfucker doesn't check his messages or his texts. He doesn't check his DMs, his tags, or his actual phone messages. So you know what? I was like, fuck. We shut it down. That was fucking hilarious. There was another. We called the honey bun incident, but we don't know what happened. Somebody heated something up in the microwave at the hotel, and it caught on fire. We don't know what happened. We're pretty sure it wasn't a honey bun, but you never know. Oh, I had to de-escalate a fight.
sounds pretty normal for a drunk party.
Sunday morning, Saturday night. It was night.
Yeah, that's part of the course when everyone is drunk and hyperchlorinated.
No, Diamond wasn't there. Diamond didn't die, but we were gonna start. We were gonna start making those jokes again. Like, okay, so the CPR stick joke. Apparently, that's gonna be an actual thing. Because apparently, I fell asleep in the room with Sonic next to 17, and I did not snore. So 17 thought I was dead.
I mean, you do usually snore, to be fair.
No, I know,
Yeah.
but not if I. That's only if I sleep. If I sleep face down, which is like the worst way to sleep. I don't. And I was pretty drunk when I got back. Like I did. I just fell in the bed. My shoes were still on. Um, Overall, Saturday we didn't do shit, man. We didn't have any panels. I didn't care for anything but the rave. I pre-gamed in Chad's room.
It
There
feels
was
pretty weird whenever every regular panel runner has one panel on Friday, one panel on Sunday, right? Like, because it felt like that happened not only with us, but like with a lot of other panel runners. And a lot of Saturday panels were just like, I can only be here Saturday, or
I will say this about the con, and this is something I talked to Sonic about. There were a lot of cool fucking ideas I got from the con that we're gonna fucking steal.
yeah.
I'm telling you guys right now, we're stealing these. This guy had like one of those foldable board, you know, the ones you used to do for science projects and history projects,
Yeah, display boards.
display board, and he
Mhm.
had like an anime tier list. It had S, A, B, C, D, E, F,
Mm-hmm.
and you could move them around or take one off the board. I went over there and took bleach off the board, and for like 20 minutes, it was off the board, and it was pissing off the host. Bleach was off the board, and one piece was an F, and he kept talking to his friend like, "Yeah, this is pissing me the fuck off." He was mad at me, bro. I'm
Man,
like, "Bleach sucks."
if you don't like the game, don't make the game, right? That's all I gotta say. It's entertaining, don't get me wrong, but it's funny as hell.
Oh yeah, no, somebody moved Dragon Ball Z off of S. I was about to kick the shit out of him. But we need to do something like this, but we're gonna use the waifu game. We're gonna do like waifu
I mean,
ranking tier list.
so it wasn't just anime they were doing; they also did husbandos and waifus.
They did husbandos and waifus. I'm gonna do one on Are there enough conventions locally? When I say local, I mean Texas to
I
do
think
something
so,
like that.
right?
Yeah, there should be
Yeah.
there should be some.
Because I can name
I'm
it
just gonna like
what?
super glue Anime Matsuri's logo to like F, just like permanent. You can't move it.
Well, instead of F, you could just put
Anime Matsuri here. You can put Anime Matsuri here.
Matsuri.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. Instead of F, I'm gonna put Matsuri like shit.
Yeah, I know that's.
On a scale
But
of
that's gonna be
S to
all of
Matsuri,
them though, not just not just the convention, all of them. Oh no, I didn't go to other panels. This was in the hallway.
Yeah, I went to,
Dude, they had all kinds of crazy shit in the hallway. Like they had a concert in the hallway.
Yeah, I let my wife drag me to whatever panels she was interested in, so we got to see some different ideas. So yeah, I went to like maybe like 6 or 7 other panels, maybe.
Me and Sonic saw a lot in the hallway that gave me a lot of ideas, and he mentioned a couple of them. We talked about the waifu husbando one. We're gonna steal that one and do content with it, but we might not do all the same ones. I think we could do a video game one. We could do a video game. We could do a
Consoles.
We can do one on consoles. Oh, are there enough consoles for something like that?
Yeah.
I feel like you can like rate different generations of consoles like differently. Like you can rate the Xbox 360, the Xbox One X as all different ones.
I feel like we can do one just based off of like superheroes.
I'm sure it's already been done before.
All of that's
But
all
there's
been done.
yeah,
all of it.
everything. Yeah, everything's done before.
Like the only time I had something original that where the cons were like, "What the fuck is this?" is when I did the versus panels. We're like, "Oh, this is a shit talking panel." Okay, what do you do? I don't do anything. The audience does all the work. Like, what do you mean? Like, they didn't understand the concept of the audience being the showrunners instead of the.
I mean, and that's the hilarious thing, because I know a lot of people that have done explicitly like waifu wars debate panels that run super super badly. So whenever like some like programming director doesn't understand that, I'm just like, you approved a bad debate panel before.
I actually got a. Damn it! I had a really good one too. I want to do one on Pokemon because we did a Pokemon arguing gauntlet contest during the Pokemon panel.
Yeah.
So like waifu wars, but Poke Wars.
Pokemon.
Because I think the whole waifu wars thing has been
overdone.
Yeah, there's so many people. DJ does it, where the waifu ad does it. I know other groups do it, and it's like a lot of them, not all of them, because obviously Waifu Wars does a good job at it, and DJ, I've never been to his, but I think he does a good job.
Well,
And I'm
there's
kissing his ass
analogy.
because he's my friend, but
Yeah,
I think a lot of people don't really know how to run that kind of panel where the audience is.
yeah. So I like how DJ's group runs it specifically because of the fact that they have a lot of control over what's actually being debated, rather than just like pick a waifu and go, right? Because that's like a lot of other like dude bro waifu wars panels I've seen are like that, and they just end up devolving into like recency bias, which isn't really that fun if you know who's going to like come out of it. It's just whoever speaks last. So
Now you got me thinking, what can we do because I don't have to, at San Japan, I don't have to work until 6 in the afternoon because they have me working until 3 in the morning. So like literally 8-9 hours running karaoke. So I was thinking about, if Sonic goes to San Japan, which he probably won't. I think you have the cruise. You have your. Oh, dude, it would have been cool if you were going on that Jericho cruise.
It'd be pretty sweet, right?
All right, so let's go over what did you like about I know we kind of talked about the con and the things we liked, but overall, what were some of the things you actually liked about the convention, or what are some of the things you disliked? Suffering.
All right. I mean, I like the fact that it feels like there's a level of community that, Colossal Con manages to draw in, because it is known as the best party con in Texas. I think it's safe to say that at this point, because of all the room parties that have gotten shut down the past 2 years and everything else, Colossal Con never has an issue with keeping up its party culture. And I think that is the one con that everyone kind of comes together and be like, this is our party, right? So that's my favorite thing about Colossal, the fact that they're really equitable as far as what they do, as far as programming, as far as the convention space that they actually give, and their system feels very fair, is indicative of what corporate cons should be doing, right? And I will say Colossal Con is a corporate con at the end of the day, because they have like 5, 6, 7 conventions, right? So for it to be a corporate con, it's probably my favorite corporate con. And I mean that in the most loving way possible, because the fact it inspires the sense of community that we really, really need to have, because conventions used to be about meeting people and making friends. And I feel like you need to have a big party if a bunch of people want to make friends in the first place. Unfortunately, that's just the nature of the game right now. And that's, I think, my favorite thing about the con. What I don't like about the con, like my biggest dislikes, are probably just the fact that there's a flip side to the entire convention being a party as well. That, everything feels a little bit shallow. Everything feels like you could go a little bit deeper or flesh things out a little bit more. Maybe we could have more room for vendors and artists. Maybe we could, have a little bit more of a convention environment during the day and not everything revolve around people making their own fun. And the convention itself actually facilitates something that's a little bit stronger. I think the Club Kaiju collaboration was interesting, but overall I probably didn't like it. Normally because I think Club Kaiju as an organization doesn't function as well as it should in the convention space. I think they're the type of business that needs to advertise at a convention space, but the way they try to do their model of partying doesn't really work well with other people's model of partying when it's at a 3-day event or works in some particular way. So I think there was a lot of experiments that were done this year that can bear fruit, but I don't think were entirely as good as they could have been. But Colossal itself is always a fun time. There's a reason we mark it down on our calendar. We talked endlessly on this podcast about the competition it had this weekend, but all of us made a priority to go to Colossal for a reason, because of the reputation that it has and the fact that it is so fun and we know people that are going there. Like, the only consideration that I even had for this weekend was I going to go to Colossal or was I going to try to go to Anime NYC? I did not have the budget for Anime NYC. That is one reason why I will come back to Colossal. And it won't always be every single year Anime NYC and Colossal on the same weekend. Because half my feed was Anime NYC, half my feed was Colossal. And I think Colossal always feels like the Texas party. And it's funny because the company's from Ohio, but that's really what it is. So yeah, I mean, that's my overall views on the con. I don't think it's changed all that much. I don't think they need the mac and cheese from Kalahari in order to, say their con is amazing, which I can't say about the other Kalahari con we have in Texas. So like, it does a lot of things right.
Okay. Sonic.
I enjoy so a lot of the aspects. So most of this would be something against. I did like how the convention was running in a way where it's like the same layout. Most of the layouts stay the same. They basically were, trying to like expand the stuff that worked last year, the last few years, into what's working this year. I did like that they did a market dedicated to, trading cards, arts and crafts, the otaku flea market. It gave people an opportunity to, get some business experience, also at the same time, make an extra income or try to make some friends. It gives like a lot of benefits to that. I did like how this year they decided to make 2 nights for the rave at the Waves, and the best part, you don't have to like buy both badges. You could just buy one, just for one ticket for like the one day you're able to go, and there's some days that maybe you're not able to go, that kind of stuff. A gripe I did have is, again, the scheduling. How there was some stuff where it's like, okay, I would have rather had this been at earlier in the day rather than, or this should have been later in the night or something like that. You know what I mean? And I do like how, again, it's just what Suffer was mentioning, how like the convention, it kind of it takes advantage of like the use of like the entire resort, and regarding to a lot of aspects, panels, the arcade, the dealers, all the aspects. I do wish though that the arcade, I really wish they kind of expanded to not just an actual arcade full of arcade cabinets and all that games and all that kind of stuff. I kind of wish they did add a somewhat of a console gaming section, even if it's like a really small one, because there were a couple people who actually had like a console set up on the hallways, which I don't know, it's a little bit risky. Don't want to create any tension in space, all that kind of stuff. But again, overall, I enjoyed this convention every year. It doesn't disappoint. I always feel like, is there room for improvement? Of course, absolutely. Like every con, not every con is perfect. And overall, if anybody out there who doesn't, who's never been to Colossal, I would suggest this would be one to add to your list.
Yeah. Speaking of not having a console gaming area, they also didn't have any tabletop or TCG for D&D at all. I actually kind of like that, just because it forces people to actually talk to one another, but that's just me.
They didn't have any what? Say that again. I heard TCG. And what was the last one?
Tabletop, like TCG area.
Okay.
People can sit down and like play Yu-Gi-Oh, for example.
Dude, I love the fact that they didn't have a fucking anime viewing room. Once again, they had like TVs next to the couches. That was a really good idea. I know anime viewing rooms are kind of traditional, but I think they're a waste of fucking space. I loved the fact that there were so many people doing so much in just out in the open, the concerts, playing games, all that shit. I just love the fact that this was like a big con, but with a small con vibe. It was so easy to talk to people. So easy to make friends. Made a lot of new friends. A lot of them are going to come to karaoke at San Japan, y'all. Let's go. Um, Nothing was hard to find.
Mhm.
Everything is so easy. I just suck at if I don't have a handler, I'm gonna get lost. My gripes though, I feel like the music on Friday was just like elevate, like whatever the fuck
Music you would probably commonly hear at like at a grocery store
Walmart.
or something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's my
fucking
complaint about
Walmart.
Club Kaiju in general, right? So that goes back to my dislikes as well.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck for uh, kaiju, Club Kaiju. Yeah, I know everybody care. I know some people care about them. They're good. They're great. Pass. Overall, I don't really have that many gripes this year. They opened up the outside grotto area for people to hang out and chill. That was great. That was awesome. Uh, Slipping and busting my knee and arm, but that's that asshole's fault, not the cons. Um, I don't know, man. Like the only real thing I have gripes with is just the schedule. It just felt like it was underutilized. I understand that the panels are not their main focus, but because panels are not their main focus, it makes other people start to believe that panels are a dying fad in conventions, which they're not. Panels do a lot to give value to conventions, and conventions do need panels. Um,
The biggest thing a panelist will always believe in is promoting a sense of community within the space, right? And that's what panels are intended to do. So anytime you put any type of programming on the back burner, you're ultimately saying the community doesn't matter, the community will come on its own.
with that, we need your score.
I will give this year a solid 8.5 out of 10. I think there's
Okay.
been improvements. In the past I've rated Colossal Texas at 8 out of 10. And I think what they've improved on deserves praise. That's why I give them 8.5. But I think they've only improved in little minutiae and stayed within sort of their system. So I think that improvement really it's going to stay at 8.5 unless it becomes like it has to be at Colossal Con Prime level for it to be a 9 out of 10 for me. So 8.5 is where I settle on.
Okay. Sonic.
Yeah, same rating. I would probably give it like an 8.5. I think again, I mentioned they took what they did last year and they kind of like it's like they if it ain't broke, don't fix it per se in terms of like layouts and stuff. I'm kind of glad they kind of improved upon that. Uh, like you mentioned, Goku, the I would have preferred if the scheduling was a little more needs more work, at least like a tune up. And again, I did like the addition of two Rave at the Waves. And again, yeah, overall, I think same rating, 8.5. I would say 8.5, closer to 9, but if I were to pick one on the spot, 8.5.
Okay. If anybody that's still watching the show went to the con, can you give us your score? Otherwise, mine, I give it a 9. I had so much fun.
You had a blast.
I really did. I enjoyed every second I was in the con floor. I enjoyed it. Uh, I don't really have any complaints, honestly. Like from my perspective, the only complaint I have was fucking Walmart this year sucked. They have shit. They have the new Power Ranger toys, motherfuckers. They
Yeah,
have the
they
new
did.
White
I should have.
Ranger or the White Tiger Zord.
If you would have told me ahead of time on Thursday, I would have just told you. Yeah, they didn't have that much. Would have just told you ahead of time. I was like, yeah,
Oh, what
don't.
did you? I didn't see the Penta there either, by the way.
Which is weird because I was there Thursday. And I was like, damn, I should have. Now that you tell me, I should have got it.
Yeah, no, fuck.
So
I went looking for Penta too, and they did not fucking have Penta.
yeah.
I was like, God damn, I can't get Tiger Zord. I'm gonna get Penta. And
And then that Walmart said, nah. That Walmart said, nah, bro.
all right, so
Yeah, but yeah, I had a great time, and it's also really cool to see people who come from out of state just to come to this one. They've been to the other Colossals. They've been to the ones in Wisconsin. They've been to one in Pennsylvania's, Ohio. They're looking to go to the one in Virginia. Yeah, again, it's really cool to see a lot of people from out of town to come to this convention. And for some people who are like, man, I'd love to go to conventions like Dragon Con or something like that. If you're not able to go, this is like the Texas equivalent of Dragon Con in a
Really
way. I know
is.
it's a weird comparison, but you kind of get the idea in terms of like getting together and meeting other people, having a good time, partying around, and you do it at a water park.
And
So-
like this year, like I really got more of a Colossal Con feeling, like what my Midwest friends talk about when they talk about Colossal Con, right?
Mhm.
More so than previous years, because previous years it still felt like a startup con in a lot of ways. This
Yeah.
year really felt like it was cemented itself, and it like made me be like, okay, can I make it to Colossal Con Prime next year? So I want to see what this is really about, and that's
Mhm.
really what this con should be doing.
Absolutely. It kind of like would, in a way, kind of convince people to go to the other ones.
All right. And with that being said, this con gets an 8.75 wave raves out of 10. I don't know. I mean, I probably phrased that wrong.
Yeah, I should
But,
have said raves out of 10. Wave
damn it, yeah.
8.75 waves out of 10.
Yeah.
8.25 waves out of 10.
Angry Deacons out of 10. Because he was pissed.
Yeah, being at MMM this weekend instead of Colossal, I would be pissed too.
Yeah.
We're gonna cover the entire thing tomorrow if I can get a hold of fucking Diamond. If he can stop being cryptic for 5 minutes, posting the biggest comeback ever. I'm like, everybody's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Don't worry about it.
Huh? The vague posting.
Yeah, I was like, oh, you.
Gen Z loves vague posting, man. This
I
is- this is
really-
why Diamond's
I know.
Youngblood.
I really do. I really love being left in the dark and clueless and like feeling like a fucking asshole.
No, I don't know a single person, right, 25 or under, that doesn't do any sort of vague posting whatsoever. Like, I feel like it's a Gen Z thing. Like, they just vague post. And they love vague posting.
I'm just like, get the fucking point across. Just come on. Anyways, go ahead and plug in. Like, where can they follow you, sir? Suffering. Where can they
All right.
follow Suffering?
You can find me on Instagram. That's probably my primary social media, Hideaju_suffering. You can look me up on other platforms than that as well. Goku's promised my link tree is going to be in the description. I don't know if that's going to be the case.
Did you ever send it to me?
Yeah, I did. I definitely
Okay.
did send you the link tree.
Okay, I will add it on the post show.
So yeah, I have all kinds of good stuff on the link tree. I have like a Ko-Fi and other things. I might make a Substack before the end of the year. Who knows? But yeah, Hideaju_suffering at pretty much everywhere under the sun that you can find me. Still banned on Tumblr though.
Goku, hello.
Did I? Oh, there it goes. I
No,
get free.
no, it
It's
was like
'cause I'm
really
not
awkward.
on-
Like,
I'm
what
not- I'm
happened?
not on
Everything
the-
okay?
Yeah, I'm on Wi-Fi. I'm not on a landline. So
Oh, okay.
it's kind of
Get a little lag.
a little lag. Go ahead and plug in yours. Your link tree is also posted, but plug in your
Yes.
stuff.
Follow me on Instagram. I go by Super Saiyan Sonic there. You could follow me there. I posted some photos I took from Colossal and follow my adventures. I'll be on the sea for the next few days this weekend. And anyway, and just follow me on YouTube. Please subscribe to my channel, Keyblade Sonic. It's all going to be on the link tree. And if you see me at conventions or you see me at like little events, don't be afraid to say hi. And I hope to see you guys at the future conventions that are coming up later this year.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you haven't already, make sure you hit the like button. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe and ringling the dingling button so you can be notified every time we go live. We'll be back tomorrow. If I can get a hold of Diamond or if I can find another co-host, because Sonic usually does Mondays, but today's Tuesday because we were all dead ass tired. None of us wanted to do shit yesterday. Plus,
Yeah.
Sonic had other family stuff going on, and our other guest was dead ass tired, and I'm pretty sure the only one that was up for it was Suffering. He was like where what time is it? Look at the time. Look at the time.
That's why you joined the Discord, because you see me doing stuff like that. Like,
Dude, I looked in there. I was like, oh, no, I don't want to go to school today.
Yeah, but we will be at San Japan. So I have 2 panels on Friday. Goku's running karaoke. So come to San Japan, guys. It's a fun time.
Be there or be square. And with that, we're going to tell everybody good night. Good night, everybody. We actually were supposed to do our tea time, which we got to go do now. If people are still going to do it. Join our Discord. Make sure you join. Come join us for tea time for whatever's left of it tonight. Thank you for joining us. Join us tomorrow. And then we will see you back next week for our San Japan Go Home show. And maybe if Sonic wants to talk about his cruise a little bit when he gets back, that's up to him. But also, we're going to cover the Marcel's
Manga, Marvels, and Morsels tomorrow.
The triple M.
The triple M. That sounds kind of dirty, actually. We'll cover them tomorrow. We'll cover them, and then we'll talk about other con drama. But yeah, we'll see everybody later. Thanks for joining. Thanks for watching. We really do appreciate everyone. By the way, you have no idea. Thank you. And I will review Legend of the White Dragon on Monday.
Yeah, I'm really curious about that movie because
I heard it's not good, but I'm gonna watch it anyway.
Yeah, I heard it's some interesting reviews, and then next week. Oh yeah, also next week that Coyote vs. Acme movie that Warner Brothers wanted to kill comes out this weekend.
That's right.
And for what I'm hearing,
releases this year.
And for what I'm hearing, yeah, I could see why. David Zaslav, F you, basically. A lot of people are saying that.
All right. Bye, everyone. Adios.
All right. You guys take care. You have a good night, y'all.